Creatine, what is it and why should you care? Okay, creatine is a compound that has nitrogen and a couple of amino acids in it. If you think back to your high school chemistry class, Krebs cycle, ATP, all that good stuff, its role is in utilizing energy. So by supplementing with creatine, you'll get a little more energy out of everything that you do in life. But practically, what does that look like? We're going to cover a couple things. First one, let's talk about muscle development and performance or exercise. So creatine will allow you to do more volume over time. What does that look like? Let's say you are at the squat rack and you have 200 pounds loaded up on the bar, and that is your 1 rep max. the maximum amount of weight you can do for 1 repetition, and you cannot do more than that. Supplementing with creatine can often get you to maybe 205, maybe even 210 pounds, rather than your old record. Now you have just broken a record by simply taking creatine. So there's that benefit. Another way that it can be applied, let's say you're at the squat rack and you have 135 pounds loaded up on the bar, you happen to be 135 pounds. You want to know what is the maximum amount of reps you can do at your body weight. And your current record is 15. You can do 135 pounds 15 times. Taking creatine can maybe get you to 17 reps, maybe even 20. It just depends on who you are, how you train, and how much creatine you take. But it's not just limited to muscle development. You can apply this to running. So, for example, you're on the track, you're trying to shave seconds off your mile time. Creatine can allow you to run harder for longer or faster, right? Harder, faster. And so you can start shaving seconds off your mile time. This can be applied to almost any physical endeavor. So cycling, running, swimming. If you're into combat sports like boxing, MMA, you can have those short, intense bursts of flurries or combos and not get gassed as quickly. So that's the physical part. Also, creatine, we should probably mention that it draws fluid into the muscles. So you actually get a more developed, plump look to those muscles. Now, for women who are concerned about looking like jacked up steroid freaks at the gym, it doesn't do that. So you're not gonna look like the Incredible Hulk. Not an issue. Now let's talk about the mental side of creatine. Research and data support enhanced mental performance under sleep deprivation and stressful situations. So I'm a parent of young children. It's not uncommon to get nights of 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And when that happens, I notice the next day that I'm more prone to make mistakes or just bad judgment calls. Sometimes I'll eat something I normally wouldn't, just out of convenience and less willpower. Or just not thinking clearly. Creatine can help with that. It does show, the research shows that it can help you perform better mentally when you are sleep deprived. So really good for parents. Another thing to consider, stressful situations. Okay, cuts through the fog, helps you think more clearly. A situation might be you're a law enforcement officer and you get called out to the scene of domestic violence or something. And forgive me, I don't know the law enforcement speech, but or lingo. But you're investigating or asking questions, and the neighbor comes out and starts throwing a fuss, and then you get a call from dispatch on your radio, and now you got 3 different situations going on. Creatine can help you cut through that fog, prioritize what is at the top of that list, and execute and act on that, rather than getting paralyzed in the moment and trying to figure out what's most important. The third benefit I'm going to cover is glucose utilization. You might want to call it carbohydrate metabolism. And if you are diabetic, if you are pre-diabetic, or if you're just somebody who's trying to lose weight the right way, reduce fat, right? Not do it the scary, dangerous, off-label use Ozempic way where you get all shriveled up and lose all your muscle mass. But you're doing it the right way. You want to lose fat. I made a video about something called GLUT4 transporters, and these are transporters that are in the cell of your muscles, and they go to the surface of the muscles and they take from the extracellular fluid, the stuff that's floating around and outside the muscle cell, that delivers nutrients and oxygen and energy and glucose. Well, these glucose transporters go to the surface of the muscle cell and they pull in the glucose, the energy, into the cells. And if it sits outside in the cells and there's a lot of glucose there, your blood sugar is high. So you may be pre-diabetic or diabetic and insulin insensitive. I don't want to get on a tangent about that because we could spend so much time there. The important thing is creatine helps activate more of those GLUT4 transporters. So you will be more efficient at processing glucose. You will actually bring more extracellular glucose into the muscle cells themselves to be used for energy. Now, when it comes to actually getting creatine, it's readily available. You could get it on Amazon super cheap. You could get it at Costco super cheap. You could get it anywhere super cheap. And it's one of the most, if not the most researched supplement in supplement history. And it's very safe. You want to go for the most simplest form, creatine monohydrate. If you're looking at creatine and trying to get it in a pre-workout formula or in a product that has a whole bunch of amino acids, I would avoid all those other formulations and just stick with simply creatine monohydrate. Safest, most researched, cheapest. And it helps if you could go with a brand that has third-party testing just to make sure there's no contaminants in it. But generally, it's very safe. And when I say that it's cheap, it's pretty cheap. If you can afford 3 to 4 Starbucks drinks in a month, you can afford creatine. The doses come out to 10 to 30 cents per each 5-gram dose. So it's very cheap. You get all these benefits: the physical, the mental, the glucose metabolism, for 10 cents a dose. So if you're looking at other things before creatine, like Ozempic, protein even, I have nothing against protein, you're leaving so much on the table. So I would start there with creatine. The way to take it. Most studies show taking 5 grams a day is the way that most people should or probably will take it. And all the containers have a little scoop in them and they're measured at 5 grams. Now, when you take it at 5 grams a day, some studies say that it will take a few weeks before your muscles become saturated with it. So you can wait out the few weeks, or you can do a loading dose of about 20 grams a day for anywhere from like 7 days to 10 days, and then taper back down to 5 grams a day. And then you're set, unless you fall off the wagon for a week or whatever, and then you might want to start that loading dose again. Other research supports megadosing, 20 to 30 grams a day. So do some research, talk to your doctor, see what's right for you. But it's an awesome supplement, and basically everybody should be on it. Make sure you hydrate well. And one possible contraindication to taking creatine is if you have kidney insufficiency or kidney disease. So talk to your doctor. This is not medical advice or any type of advice. This is simply information. But that's creatine. Have a good one.